Alright, and we're live. Let's see how many people show up on this one. Zero out of zero so far. Hello! You are the first one, whoever you are. Hey, Shadowcaster. Cheshire Grin, good to see you. Paul's Garage, nice to see you, bud. How you doing? Hey, good to see everybody. Starting to show up. Hey, Joshua. And Travis, how you doing? Brian Neely, good to see you. So this will be my second live stream. Hello, also from Ohio. Oh, not a problem, Tyler. Oh, how has my day been? It's been a long one. I kicked out 6 skillets and 2 copper bowls. So, but it did pretty good. Hi from the UK, Mr. Morris there. Good to see somebody from across the pond on the live stream today. What's in store for you all today? Well, that is what I'm doing Friday live streams all about. It's all about your guys' questions for me that you may have had that I haven't gotten to over the past week of videos release. And so this is for all the subscribers and the guys out there watching my videos. So it's a good chance for you guys to get your much needed questions answered. So you just shoot me questions and fire them off at me and I'll do my best to answer them. So hello, Kenneth Johnson. Do I do classes? Oh, cool. Helping. Wait, all right. Yeah, do I do classes? I teach classes up at SOFA, Southern Ohio Forge and Anvil, and I'm going to be doing about 4 this year. 4 different classes. They're not really classes, they're workshops is what they call them, and they're usually just a weekend workshop. So I'll make sure to do a live stream on that when we get to that. It'll definitely be after Quad State, which is here at the end of September. Which I don't know if anybody can believe, but it is like crazy that the year has flown by. As you can see, I'm wearing a hoodie. It is cold in my shop, if you can believe that. Oh. And no, I haven't ever heard of Alan Jackson Hard Hat song. For that, yeah. Any blacksmiths in Jensen County? No, I do not know any. So, for flattening a railroad anvil top, you essentially just grind it flat. I suggest using a larger grinder than the width of the anvil top. That way you can get it nice and smooth. So, yeah, it's cold and rainy here in Ohio. So, how's the stream looking? Is it choppy or is it doing good? Drill vice press again. Yes. Good. Glad to hear the thing's going well. Yeah, I do have some other videos. In fact, I'm still looking at mid this month. I will have my walkthrough demonstration of how to build a power hammer, a wooden power hammer. So I'll be checking into that. It'll be a little miniature helve hammer. So I'll be doing that. I also got another burner build coming up. This is going to be a 4-stair burner. John Coley, good evening to you. Yeah, it's going to be a 4-stair burner. It'll be a little different than the other one that I did out of the plumbing fittings. This one will be a little more professional setup. So definitely check in for those videos. I'm going to try to get into more build videos, but the build videos, they take quite a long time. So you're very welcome, Joshua. So Yeah, the blacksmithing books video, I highly recommend anybody who hasn't seen that video to watch that. Those are my top 5 picks. I do have quite an extensive collection, but they're, too many to list in one or two videos. So good. And good evening to you too, Sarah, Mike. Oh, week's been great so far. Been busy, really busy. So that's good. Been putting out a lot of videos. I've enjoyed doing that. I've got a few ahead. So, how's the refractory holding up? Well, it's still holding up pretty well. If you look at this, this was like literally at midnight. I did the worst job ever at building this thing. It is in no way, shape, or form like it should be. If you look in here, you can see a crack across the top. That's from where the two seams of the mixture joined. That's not actually from the forge itself. As far as I can tell, where the torch was the hottest in the corner, that has suffered a little bit from, it kind of turns into a bit of a glass, and then it, crumbles out of that area. So, there's a little bit of crumply. So I'm not happy with the mix just yet. But once I get happy with the mix, where I think it'll make a good video for everybody, and I won't be leading guys astray, I'll, do another video on that. Yeah, it's definitely a good thing, so. Yeah, Sarah White, yeah, better to stay busy than bored. Keeps us out of trouble, that's for sure. Idle minds and idle hands. We all know what that leads up to. Oh, yeah, this little test forge, I'm just trying to find some cheap, cost-effective ways for guys to build forges. Oh. Okay, I'll be looking for the I'll be looking for the 5th weld there at Sofa. There's going to be a bunch of there, so. Can we see your power hammer? Which one? That's the great question. Oh. I know a dirt cheap way to build a forge. Is that in the dirt? Did I catch that one right? Yeah, I'm looking for a refractory right now. I know I can go out and buy like Castalite, and I know I could do those. I just figured it would be a fun way of figuring if I could make my own. It's really just a side project. My gas forge will eventually need to be relined at some point. It's still holding up really good. So I'm just trying to find an easy spread-on alternative to having to tear the whole thing apart and go the casting. So, yeah, that's what I thought. So, Anastasia, I have been taught by multiple people, no one person, and I've been smithing for 9 years. Oh, the one that looked like an anvil added. That's the Hardy hammer. I've done a bunch of videos on that. It shows it pretty well. But yeah, that's a little creation of mine of an anvil-mounted power hammer. So it actually mounts through the Hardy hole of the anvil. Hence the Hardy hammer. Come up. Yeah. Hi, does it matter if steel is very rusty? No, it doesn't really matter. It's going to pop off. But what could the Hardy hammer be mounted separately? Yes, if you build a stand for it, you could do that. Essentially, it's the upper half of a Little Giant power hammer. Basically, that generalized form. That's super generalized. It's a little more complex than that, but it's essentially the upper half. So, let's see here. What's your opinion on wood forges? I like wood forges. More or less charcoal forges. When I worked with Tom Latney in Pepin, Wisconsin, he used charcoal mostly, but then again, like all blacksmiths, we're all a little bit on the cheap side, so he would cut green wood and then let it burn, and then only when he needed to do like forge welding and things like that, he would throw on the actual charcoal they've been making. So, hey, that'd be awesome if you grabbed yourself some plans. So, yeah, the Hardy hammer, it's a nice basis. You can always build bigger. I was at my limit on that. I wanted to see how small I could build a hammer and it still be able to do work. and I think I achieved that. So I believe the hammer weighs, it's been a while since I weighed it. I'd have to go back and reference the video, but it was like 80 pounds, I believe. It was 75, 80 pounds. So it's really about at the limit of what you can do for a power hammer as far as size, unless you went to aluminum or something like that, and I'm not sure that would hold up very well. But it's a fully fabricated thing. Oh. Well, thank you, Peter L. Oh, we try to make it a good channel. Some of my videos, they're great, and then the other videos, you know, I could have done better, but, you know, I'm still learning. We're getting there. Well, I'm glad you liked the treadle hammer. Oh, yeah, that was a fun little build. You know, I really enjoy designing and building tooling. And when I got into blacksmithing, kind of a lot of the consensus is, you know, good luck finding a power hammer or any sort of assistance for cheap, you know, so. Steel, you haven't missed much. Just been talking about the Hardy hammer. Oh, and the upcoming power hammer that's coming, so. Believe it or not, your anvil is a giant gear. Well, that can work as long as it holds up and it fits your purposes. How did I get the ideal or inspiration to start YouTube? Well, actually, it's kind of funny. You would think it was for altruistic purposes, if that's how you pronounce that, or just all good intentions. But I originally started very misguidedly about 2 years ago. I got on YouTube. I did 10 videos, and the reason why I did that is I had taken a class where Mark Asbury was taking the class with me. We were taking a class from Peter Ross, and when I took this class, he had told me in it that he had made like $400 a month or something like that. And anyways, and so he had told me he made $400 a month, and at that time I wasn't making a whole lot of money at blacksmithing at all. So I thought to myself, I'm like, well, heck, I can stand in front of a camera, you know, and certainly I can make videos if it's that simple. And boy, was I wrong. I realized there was a lot of time wrapped up in that, and so I just kind of just let it die. Like, I got my business off the ground. The business was really running good, and so I just decided, well, I'm not going to do the YouTube. I wasn't receiving any money out of it at that time or anything like that. So that was my original purposing. I decided this year that I was going to make an investment for it, because my ultimate goal is I want to be an instructor and teach as many people as I can. So that was my ultimate plan this year, and that's why I put out so many videos. I want to teach. I mean, of course, you know, I want to make money at it like any other YouTuber does. If they say they don't, well, you know, no one does nothing for nothing. So they have something that they want to do that. So my plan was this. I wanted to incorporate it as kind of a secondary business and also help the blacksmithing community as well. So so far it's been a win-win on both. Really appreciate it. As far as the blacksmith touch mark goes, I'd love to do a video on it. I've been thinking about that. What's up, BTB? Good to see you. Oh, and by the way, any guys that have told me their names in the past, hey Jackson, who are some of my blacksmith idols? Let's see here. Well, I've got some favorites. My main favorite, the guy I follow the most, is Tom Latney. I love his work, and if you haven't checked him out, you should really do so. Really check out his work. He's an awesome smith. I just think he does some phenomenal stuff that's just not seen anymore. And he does a lot of historic recreation things for locks and things like that. So I really, really got a great appreciation and respect for the man. So, you know, I think I know the name Antonio. Anyhow, I don't know his last name, but yeah. Yeah, Thor has an awesome hammer. LOL. I've made a few of those. I find my copper down at the scrapyard here in Dayton. Yeah, the merchandise, that's on the way. I'll take a moment to talk about that. So, hi, Anton. So, anyways, sorry, bit space. Sorry, my mind went blank there for a second. Merchandise, real quick. I think it's Brodus, BTB. I think so. Don't count me on that. I'm horrible with names. Oh, if your names weren't on the screen like your channel names, I wouldn't be wouldn't be remembering you by heart. That's one of my downfalls. Merchandise, that's where I was at. So people who are excited about the merchandise, we've got that coming in. We've got some samples coming to us that we've just ordered. So when I get those, we'll have to take and see, you know, how that comes together. Oh, I just don't want to do the Teespring campaign. That's what they call it, a Teespring campaign. I don't want to offer that to guys that are going to be spending money on that unless it's a good shirt. I mean, I don't believe in putting out crap products, so. John Wood, the best thing you can do is a Google search. Just, you know, Google blacksmithing clubs, try to get with a local group, even if they're kind of far away. I travel 45 minutes to Sofa one way. That's not a huge trip, but Shadowcast, yeah, the sizes for the shirts, you can choose any size you want on Teespring, I believe. Oh, yep, Facebook groups, Chris Lawrence. That's another good one that you can get a hold of. Various blacksmiths that might be in your way. Oh, why do I have the green tape? I have the green tape on all my tool handles because I do a lot of I do demonstrations and I teach, and it's very easy for me to find my tools after the demonstration is over. Especially in a group of a bunch of blacksmiths where everything goes black and brown. So. Yeah, the legal age thing, that's kind of a hard thing. You know, blame lawyers and sue happy people for that one. That's a pain in the butt, I know. Do I use Facebook? I actually do not use Facebook anymore. My wife handles all those accounts. I kind of got tired after the last political thing and campaign. As you might think, I know a lot of different people. I know a lot of different people. I have a lot of different friends that stand on a lot of different sides of the fence. And just to see how ridiculous some people got with that whole thing, it was just kind of like, you know, I need to take a step back and I just need to focus on God, my family, and my business. And it was really a good decision for me in that way. I do miss some of the blacksmithing Facebook groups, but it even infiltrated there a little bit, so I kind of got out of that. Yeah, Paul's Garage, yeah, I'll do it. It's Bodie, dang it. I think I said that. I might have said Brody. Sorry about that, Bodie. Oh. Yeah, I don't have a TV, surprisingly enough. We have essentially our YouTube channel, and I watch a ton of YouTube videos. That way I can be very selective of who I want to watch and who I don't want to watch. Our kids, they watch movies that we select, and we make sure, you know, there's no bad stuff in those sort of things. I don't have a TV, don't want a TV. I don't have enough time for a TV. Working 12 to 16 hours a day, that I don't have time for that. And I'd much rather spend time on a live chat like this talking to you guys than TV. Oh. I'm glad we're still friends there, Bodie. Oh. Yeah, Paul's Garage TV is overrated. And if anybody doesn't know Paul's Garage, he's got a great YouTube channel. I get a kick out of all his stuff that he puts out there. He's been doing some metal casting and stuff. You guys should check out his channel. He's awesome. So as soon as the comments come back up, I'll re-answer a few more of those. So, what do I enjoy making the most? I want to take and get into larger work. I don't really have a favorite. One of my favorite hobbies, and I've kept it pretty much purely as a hobby is locks, making locks. And so I don't televise that. I don't sell those. I do those purely for enjoyment of doing those. I'll take classes on them and things like that. But as far as like maybe something that I would make day to day in the shop, tooling, I really enjoy making my own tools. There's something enjoyable about doing that. Any other questions? Don't know if I got a lag here or not, but all the questions went away. Everybody went silent for a minute. Oh, there it is. Never tried building a strong box. And you're welcome, Paul. You do great work over there, bud. Happy to shout you out, man. Anytime. Let me know. What metal grade do I enjoy working with the most? Wrought iron. Literally wrought iron. So, Gerald Kopp, I answered that earlier about classes. I teach them at SOFA. Right now I'm not set up to give classes at my own workshop. As far as steel for axes, you can take your pick. I would do something soft for the body and weld in the bit, just because I enjoy those. I forged a little bit of bronze, Sarah and Mike. I've done just a little bit of bronze, not enough to be very knowledgeable about it. Oh. So any other questions on any of the stuff that I've been doing this week? Help with a jig for forming a heart out of horseshoe nails. Symmetry is tough. Yeah, that's kind of tough. Mainly, I would forge something first that is exactly what you're wanting, and then build a pin system around that. So, yeah, I do buy my steel kind of in bulk. I do occasionally buy it at the scrapyard, just odds and ends. Yeah, I did read those books. Oh. Worst injury I've ever had. Oh, let's see here. Let me think. I don't know. In blacksmithing, I can't really say a whole lot. I think I've got an ongoing injury. I have carpal tunnel right now syndrome, and I don't know if it's a mix of carpal tunnel and, tendonitis or something like that. But that came from my days of swinging a very large hammer by myself, and I shouldn't have been doing that. Really bashing my hands ridiculously so. And I didn't know better until somebody had told me about it. So that's kind of an ongoing injury. And for people who just think, oh, well, toughen up, you big crybaby, I'm here to take and tell you that it ain't no fun. Like the other day... Here. No, I'm not stripping. Just take it easy. Let's hear. If you guys could see this burn right here. This right here was off that cattail sculpture I'd made. And here's the very real conclusions about carpal tunnel and tendonitis. So I don't have feeling in these. So I don't have feeling in my hands. I have pressure sensitivity, but I don't have heat. Heat, cold, can't feel myself rubbing my hands like this. I can feel pressure. And so I literally had the bloom of this cattail sculpture in this hand. Didn't feel it, took it inside, thought I'd show my wife and surprise her with it. So I tucked it behind my back. And that bloom touched my forearm and seared that skin right there just as quick as could be. And I never felt it whatsoever in my hands. So that's a very real conclusion. It's why I'm so passionate about teaching good hammer form. And I'll teach that, and I'll stand on that by thick and thin. Oh. Yeah, carpal tunnel it's very serious, Paul. That's one of those things. So I'm trying to do alternative methods versus taking and actually getting surgery done, but we'll have to see how that goes in the future. There are no companies in the U.S. that manufacture wrought iron. I just have a stock of it piled up. So, Jackson Kettler, that is an awesome trick, by the way, bud. Yes, I did try that punching trick. It does work. For what people, Jackson had recommended to me that I tried whenever I do like a drifting or something like that to do it over corner of the hardy hole. And so this way it wouldn't sag or draw the material down as you drift through, and it worked pretty well. You'll still have to punch it on the surface of the anvil, but when you actually drift it open, man, it works great for the hardy hole. That worked really well. I did try that. I actually did that on some skillet handles. You had your surgery. Yeah, I've been hearing about carpal tunnel surgery. It's got some kickbacks on it. Where's your next video? The next video will be coming out tomorrow at 7 a.m. and then 7 p.m. And I do that daily, 7 days a week. Yeah. I don't know. I haven't even seen a doctor about it yet. I know I'll have to. So, somebody had asked. I didn't see in the comments there. Somebody had asked about when my power hammer build is supposed to be. I'm still looking for mid-September. That's what I'm looking at right now. I'm hoping to take and get that done. It's going to be a lot of video shooting. I'm going to try to condense it to where it makes sense, but it's in a timely manner. Oh, that's very, very difficult to do. So, an EMG. It's not a fun test. Okay, I'll keep that in mind. So, yeah, I see a lot of young guys with smithing large hammers. You feel like you've got, the metal's not moving quick enough. You choke up on the hammer handle. You go up to the top of the head like you're holding it like a rock, and then you just beat your wrists to death, in an effort to be better than what you are too quickly. And don't practice, good hammer accuracy. So I won't rant on that too much tonight, guys. It's one of those things that I feel very passionately about. I want to try to get the word out to as many people as I can. So save your wrists. You've heard if you move the metal too quick, it'll crack. There is no such thing, in my opinion, of moving the metal too quick. Now, I've been doing it 9 years. Maybe a guy's been doing it 30 plus years would know better than I do. But as long as the material is hot, it should not crack. It should stay moving. So it should stay moving just fine under the hammer. Where a lot of guys get a problem with crackage after stuff is done and over with is they either covered up a cold shut or they hammered too cold. They're trying to push the metal too much in one heat. So that's why I said in my video when I did hammer technique and hammer control, I had talked very extensively that there's no value in doing something in one heat. And I'll re-clarify that. There's no value in doing anything in one heat when you have a 14-hour day ahead of you. It's not. I mean, you get that heat done quicker, but you've got 87 more to go. So, and you're going to be working constant. It takes what it takes. Yeah, don't hold the hammer too tightly. Yes, that's a good thing, but that is just one part of it. So, like I explained in that video. We could get into all that kinetic energy and bounce and rebound and wrists and things like that. But there's a pretty long-winded comment section on that video. I stirred the pot on that one. The way I see it is, do what you guys feel, what you like to do, but it's your wrist. So. No, I'm not warm. I'm not warm in the shop during the winter time there, Joshua. So, what hammer size is appropriate to use? I would say as light as you can lift and still move the metal effectively. Oh. Nope, don't know any 15-year-old blacksmiths like you, Jackson. No. Except you. I know you. That's always a good thing. No, and I'm glad to have you as part of the channel, by the way. So to answer the hammer question a little more bluntly, my forging hammer that I made is a 1 3/4 pound hammer, and I, let's see here. Why don't use a rounding hammer? Don't like them, not at all. They're not conducive to my work. Rounding hammer produces, if you look at enough of the work, rounding hammers produce a certain kind of work, and you can see it if you look across a lot of different pieces. And I've seen them in use for a while. In fact, Brian Brazil, the guy that is one of the biggest champions of a rounding hammer, or the really large rounding hammers like Alex Steele uses, I think I seen him about 7 years ago, I think it was, at Quad State, and he was talking about those a lot. And I didn't really like the style. Like I said, I had been warned about my wrist by that time, and I didn't like the holding up close to the head and the punching blows. Now, a rounding hammer like in the Farrier's format, I do like that because they swing lighter hammers. And that just comes from having to go to horse 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 every day for 12, 14 hours a day. You generally lighten up on your hammers when you have that much swinging to do. Now, if you're doing it as a hobby and you're putting in maybe 8 hours a week or something like that at it, you're not going to notice those health benefits of choking up on a hammer or swinging too heavy of a hammer. I mean, your wrist might be a little sore, but you'll say, well, that's because I haven't done it that long. Oh. Good to see a country girl can survive. It's funny reading some of your guys' screen names. Some of them I gotta like double check in my brain, like, can I repeat that? Oh. So any questions on any of the videos I've released here recently? I know I haven't been doing too dicey of anything or anything like that. Anything you guys want to see in the shop? Take you on a little video tour. I think I might be getting some lagging behind. Ooh, get my thumb up in it. Are you a real blacksmith? Not at all. Oh, not at all. Show us all your blank. Gonna have to get more specific than that. I can show quite a few things. What kind of blower do I use? For gas forge or coal? You want your forge hood video. Dang it. Alright. That's awesome, Jackson. Glad you did this. So, just trying to get that passion going. Oh, well. Yeah, the Ram's head's a pretty cool thing. So, yeah, I can show my forge. If anybody wants to see that real quick. I do plan on doing, I just caught a comment about doing a forge welding video. I do plan on doing a whole series on that. A whole series on forge welding. It is something that I do a good bit of, and I enjoy it. So, I do not have an air infiltration system. Sorry, guys, it's going to get shaky for a second. Alright, here we go. Oh! So let's show the forge off. So this is my coal forge. This is a Champion blower right here. My cross peen's 1 3/4 pounds that I use all the time. So yeah, this is my coal forge. My wife bought this for me for, well, not for any particular reason. I just was wanting to get into smithing, so there it was. So, and she got it at a garage sale, 150 bucks. You can't beat that. It's like a rivet forge or something like that. As far as the forge hood, I do plan on doing a video on that. Like I said, I've got some specs I want to share with the forge hoods. Otherwise, they don't draft rightly, and that somebody had asked. And so here's my gas forge that I use all the time. Bought this at Quad State off of an older gentleman that was getting out of it. It's a 3-burner. It's got dividers in it. I like it great. So, and then, you know, yeah, this is my post vise. This is something I got for Christmas one year. My parents bought it for me. You know, not much to say about it. I think it weighs 100 pounds, something like that. So, what's up, Justin Walls? So, she stole that. Yeah, for 150 bucks, she stole it all right. So, and actually, the story on that, I like coal better. I do. I use gas a lot, but I like coal better. I said in the video of making Damascus is so easy you want to see me make some. Well, I would love to do that. And I'm going to do that when I do forge welding videos. So, and the reason why I made the statement about forge welding, Damascus is so easy, was not that the fact that the process is any easier. It's just that it is only one process. It's only one type of forge weld. And there are so many other types of forge welds in blacksmithing. So, what type of lining does your coal forge have? It's just cast iron. It's a cast iron fire pot. So, yeah, I actually got some steel in. I've got some 1095 and 15 in 20, and I do plan on doing some Damascus at some point. No, it won't turn it into a blade, but I'll turn it into something else, something pretty. Or something like, I don't know, like a hammer or something like that. I thought a hammer, you know, I don't know. Still indecisive on that. Reason why I said Damascus steel is one of the easiest welds to do is because it's just a stack weld, or what they used to call like a faggot weld. It's just multiple layers stacked up. It's usually all tack welded together already. You bring the whole thing up to one heat. It's a large chunk of steel, so it gets up to welding heat, and it holds welding heat for an extreme amount of time. And as long as you had your fire parameters set right, it will weld. It will weld, and you can work out most of your inclusions. It does take a lot of technique and considerable effort. Where Damascus steel gets tricky is when you start manipulating the pattern, because there's a lot of forge welds in that. But there again, they're mostly stacks, and that's one of the easiest types of welds to make. And in my channel, you know, I just want to give everybody a little something different. Yeah. Yeah, a brake drum and a dirt table, that'll work too for a forge. If you do go the brake drum route, try to find as small a brake drum as possible. So, the hammer, ravel it off. What type of hammer? Oh, you meant the Damascus one. Yeah, I might do that if I make it. If I make the Damascus, I'll raffle it off. Yep, clay and the brake drum forged to use less fuel. Yep, that'll work. So, that's one of those other things. I guess I've, you know, I have a bunch of videos that I want to put out there. It's interesting. Some of them I'll get around to of them. Probably some of them I won't at this time. But that's awesome. I'm glad you're starting to study blacksmithing. It'll be fun. It's addicting. It's very addicting. Yeah, one of the things I want to do is I know a lot of guys are using anthracite out there via circumstance and things like that. And I've made statements in the past that anthracite's not a good smithing coal. And I'd like to be more clear on that in the future, you know, and why. So, Steve Olin talking about anthracite, I guess. The coal, I think. I think one of the, let's see here. Good night, Anton. Oh. Yeah, charcoal has a lot of sparks. It has a lot of sparks. Tom Latney called those fire fleas. And they'd bite you, too. Good night, Peter. Can you listen to the Bloodmobile song? Don't think I can. 5,000 pounds of coal. Cool. Yeah, coal from a farrier shop, that can be good. Please just react to the Bloodmobile song. I don't do reaction videos. It's not my thing, not my bag. Thanks for the suggestion, though. I'm glad it makes you smile there, Joshua, to see us smile on videos. Me and my wife on this stream. I had hundreds of small blisters after using charcoal with short sleeves. Yep, me too, my first day working with it. That's awesome. Here. Let's see here. Let's say, oh my goodness, before I found a source of coal, I had to use charcoal. Yep. It will burn your arms for sure. Yep, anthracite can work. You just have to manage it different. Yeah, that's true. Well, one of the things about anthracite, and I'll get into this in forge welding. I've heard a lot of guys. Now, I have never used it. So I'll put that out there. I've never used anthracite coal. So I'm not an authority or a leading expert on it. But I have heard a lot of cases where people have to pump a lot of oxygen in it to keep it going and keep it lit. And that is bad when you get to forge welding. Oxygen is your enemy when it comes to forge welding. So that's something that you'll have to take into effect there. In that case, if you got a lot of forge welding to do, I guess you could probably do charcoal for the portion of the forge welding that you need to get done, because it does get quite hot. So we got 25 watchers and 18 likes so far. I don't know if Chandler Dickinson uses anthracite or not. So some plans for future videos. I want to try to do a bit of a vlog at Quad State while I'm there, and I'm looking forward to seeing all the guys that are coming out to that. You know, we're going to try to set up something so everybody can find us easy enough. I will be at Quad State, and I will be at the Heritage Forge. I'm being put in charge of that. That's where all the older guys, the older smiths, have been around quite a long time. It's kind of open air format if they want to teach something. I've been put in charge of that arena there at Quad State. So I'll be managing, making sure they have all the tools they need, and the power hammers upkept, and the forges, and they have plenty of fuel and things like that. So if you can't find me at a tent somewhere, or at a campfire, or just hanging out in the tailgate sales area, that's where I'll be most of the time. So if you are coming to Quad State. Yep, you can forge well without flux with a clean fire. Make a set of scrolling tongs. I actually want to do that for a video. That would be a good one. Greetings from Saskatchewan. Did I get $5? Difference between bimunimus and anthracite. Anthracite is a hard coal. Bimunimus is a very soft coal. I use bimunimus coal. It's Pocahontas coal. It's from I think it's from somewhere in Pennsylvania, a seam in Pennsylvania, and they call it the Pocahontas brand. It's little small stuff. Oh. Now I owe you $5. All right, check's got to be in the mail. I think I saw it. Let's see here. What do you suggest making for first craft fair or farmer's market? Hooks. Load up on hooks. Can I show how to make a vise? Yeah, I could. It's a long process. It would be a lot of videos. So, what do you think about using railroad spikes to make tongs? I think that it's a bit of a wasted effort. If it's all that you have to make tongs out of, then most railroad spikes are the appropriate cross dimension thickness, that you can make a good jawl out of a pair of railroad spikes, but I'm not a fan of beginners using railroad spikes. And the reason for that being is it gives you something really awkward to hold. It pushes you into having to figure out tongs really quick, which you're trying to make tongs in the first place, so that gets kind of difficult. Rebar's okay for tongs as long as it's in the right cross section. In fact, I actually have a whole tong making video coming up. It will be up this week. It will be, let's see here. Well, I don't know when it'll be up exactly, but it will be up this week. So make sure you subscribe and hit that little notification bell if you haven't already. But I talk very extensively about the stock sizes. Now, the stock size I use for tongs is 5/8 inch square. I find that to be a good all-around. If you're hand hammering a lot of your own tongs, you might want to downgrade that to 1/2 inch. And like I said in the video, 3/8, no good. Don't waste your time with it. Yeah, a pair of railroad spike tongs for $5. That's a good deal. So that's a good deal if you can get that. If you're just destined to work on railroad spikes. Now that's one of the things, like, I haven't went over in my business of blacksmithing series. Those are a novelty knife item, and they're also a novelty tomahawk or something like that, and you can make a good bit of money out of those if you're trying to sell them as well. So it's something to look into. And if you don't want to thieve from the railroad, which, you know, that's a whole nother story for another night, but you can actually buy them from blacksmithsdepot.com. They actually make them. They make the railroad spikes. Yeah, needing to make a tong. Yep. I don't like the Visa-Grip. Have you ever tried my Visa-Grip tong with the welded bits in it? You may try that out, Jackson. Yeah, anytime you can find tongs for 20 bucks or less, you've done well. You've done a good deal. So I know there's some guys out there that want 60 bucks, 60, 70 bucks a pair. And I mean, that just prices a lot of people right out of it. Especially if you're not willing to spend, you know, $200-300 on an anvil, a proper anvil for yourself. 60 bucks for a pair of tongs is quite steep. 5/8 round, you can do it out of 5/8 inch round, but I discourage using round. It makes it a little harder, but you can definitely do it. Hey, good to see you, Clay Sap. So how's the video quality? Is it still coming in good, guys? My wife said after my last live stream that there was a bit of lag behind on comments. I don't know if I can't really tell from this end as I'm shooting on the phone, so hopefully I'm doing good there. Plug this in here. Okay, good. Timing's good. It's not like it's taking me 20 minutes to answer your questions. Thanks, Paul, for that answer. Thanks, Jackson. Great quality, great. You know, I was worried about that. So one of the next live streams I do, if you guys don't have a whole lot of Q&A questions for me, I would like to maybe even do maybe a little demonstration if anybody's into that. And I'll see if I can't get somebody to ask questions and shoot me questions as we go along. And I would really love to try that if anybody's interested in that. Do a little tutorial kind of thing, but live. Oh, okay, cool. Cool. Oh, that'd be awesome. Great. Yeah, just if you would, after I conclude this live stream, like after I conclude it, if you can go back in the comment section of the live stream, I know this is a little repetitive, and just give me a real quick, like, what you would love me to demonstrate on the next live stream. I plan on doing Fridays at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, Ohio time, whatever that is. I hope to take and do that every Friday if I can. And if there's going to be something where I can't do it the following Friday or something like that, I'll mention it in the previous Friday's video, what the new time would be. That way everybody who's following the live streams can get to know about it. So, and for anybody who wants to share the live streams or anything like that, feel free to do that as well. That'd be awesome, Moon Outdoors. So, yes, I have music all the time in my shop, Jackson, like all the time. I actually got a Bosch boombox from Bosch Tools, and I rock the neighborhood when I turn on my stuff and go to working. Keeps the monotony out of my head. What companies do I buy tools from? My main tool buying company that I buy anything from is either Blacksmith Depot. I buy a place called TP Tools. They have all my buffing products and things like that. They're actually like an auto body. They're not a blacksmithing thing. They're for auto body, but they sell really great premium stuff to do the type of work with the copper work and finishing things, compounds and whatnots. That's their specialty. So I like to go there. So see here. You saw a YouTube Smith make a railroad spike out of a knife. Yeah, that's pretty funny. Yeah, you could probably use old sockets for the same thing. Yeah, that's a good thing. You could probably do that for the leaf jig if you didn't want to make the rings. Robin Borowski, I have not tried packing a pipe with sand. I guess I wanted to try to cheat, and that has its upsides and its downsides. I'm going to try that. I have a large job where I've got a lot of pipe to bend, but, you know, sand and sealing the ends and getting it super hot, I don't know if I'll be able to do that, but I'm gonna give it a go on some small test runs first. I'm definitely for anything that makes it easier. Anything that makes it easier. Jackson, that's all right. You don't have to have a lot of money, bud. A lot of great deals of mine have come from garage sales. So, you know, the point is as you go along, if you can, you know, maybe try to sell a few things to friends. I mean, even if you get $20, you know, you get 5 friends to give you $20 for something you made for them. I don't care what it is. It could be hooks, it could be keychains, key rings, things like that. And then boom, you've got $100 in your pocket to go start buying you some blacksmithing tools. And since you're underage, taxes. Yeah, you don't really have to pay taxes. Now, I don't know if that's 100% correct. You might want to check with your parents on that one, but you know, I think you don't have to report unless it's over $1,200 a year in the U.S. anyhow. But I'm not an accountant, so I can't tell you for sure. Well, have fun forging the spike knife, I think you said. Oh. How do I unseize bellows? Best way to unseize bellows, and I'm assuming you're talking about a hand crank blower of some sort, be very gentle with it and use a lot of oil, penetrating oil. That's the best thing you can do. Let it soak real heavily with it for a few days, and then just keep soaking it, and then just slowly try to work it. And you can get a lot of things unseized that way. It was Joey Van Deerstig that made the railroad spike out of the knife. That's funny. Yes, I do make flatters from on occasion. I don't make any tools to sell. So your bellows have been seized for 50 years. Yep, oil, penetrating oil. You'd be amazed. You'd be amazed. And if you can't get it done with that, sometimes light heating with a torch can do it, as long as you're not destroying seals or anything like that. But since it's been seized for 50 years, I don't think you have to worry about seals. You started an Etsy shop back in June. No sales yet, though. We've been putting out a lot of different Etsy videos. You may want to go through some of those. Hopefully those would be helpful to you. You could always give us an email about it too, or find us over at our blacksmithpdfs.com, and just get a hold of us there. Maybe Jessica can help you out a little bit, give you a few tips. Yeah, it's saying, let's see here. Yeah, pixelating a bit. Yeah, it's saying I had a bad connection there for a little bit. I don't know if it's still bad or not. No, bottom stomp isn't perfect. Do you think setting it in the concrete in a bucket would be okay? Bottom of the stump isn't perfectly level, no matter how much I grind. Yeah, just setting it in a bucket of concrete, that would probably be okay, just as long as it's not submersed in water. So, yeah, diesel fuel might work. My opinion of side blast forges. I think they're great. I don't know a thing about them, so I can't do too much that. That's awesome, Curtis. Oh, those will be coming up here soon. We're working on them. Got to make sure they're a good quality T-shirt before I send them out to people, though. You're very welcome, Sarah, Mike. I hope you guys really enjoyed that. Enjoyed those videos on the Etsy thing. So, yep, sand or tri-legs on the stump will work. So, yeah, try to get in touch with us. Reach out to us over there at our website there. And, see if Jessica can help you out maybe. And, a lot of times when you're not getting seen, Jackson, God bless you, bud. Oh, it was good to see you on here tonight. A lot of times when you're not getting seen on Etsy, it comes down to a couple different things. It either comes down to your search engine keywords aren't correct, or, you don't have enough of them. And then one of the other things that it can come down to is you don't post or relist enough. Because the way that it works in Etsy, I won't get into it too much, is essentially every time you pay Etsy money, they put you at the top of the list briefly until somebody else pays Etsy money. And then you go down. And then somebody else puts Etsy money. And then somebody else, and somebody else, and somebody else, and somebody else. And that's called relisting. So as you do that, you keep getting filtered down to the bottom of the list. So as you post relist, I recommend doing at least 10 listings a week. Try to relist at least 10 listings a week. And then, hopefully that'll give you that exposure. And remember, the more items that you put on your Etsy store is like making a larger net. And so you can attract more potential customers that way. I hope that's helpful to you. I don't know if I'm just rambling, not being helpful at all, but I hope it's helpful. So, ever use a bundle of wire hangers to make stuff starting out? Like watching, but have no real experience. A bundle of wire hangers to make stuff. Yeah, I've tried wire hangers before. In fact, that was one of the first things I ever hit. In my living room, out of my forge. Wire hangers are usually pretty small, though. That's we don't do too much on that. So, yep, advertise on Facebook and local pages. That can work too. Oh, forging an anvil mounted vise. You make a video on forging an anvil mounted vise. I've never seen an anvil mounted vise, but I might look that up. And if it's something I can figure out, it might be a video I'll do in the future. Yeah, me and Jess, we're real big proponents on trying to encourage everybody here on the channel to, go out there, be successful, reach your dreams. I know there's some people that are like, well, I don't want to do it for money. Well, your hobby's costing you something, and if you're unhappy about your anvil or you're unhappy about your forge and things like that, you really got to charge for those things. If it's something, it's something, and it will help you get something. Like when, I don't know, your hammer handle breaks, for Pete's sake. Well, when it breaks, do you foot the bill out of your own finances? A lot of times you don't, and so buying a $600 anvil, yeah, that's real steep, but if you know that there's a few customers that you have made satisfied with your work, and you can put $600 back in the bank and you can buy that nice anvil you've been eyeballing, you know, that's a great resource. I believe everybody should sell something at some point in time. I don't care if it's garage sale knickknacks. We start at craft shows and street venues and things. Do a group or private beginner blacksmith class at your shop. Here at my shop, no. My shop's too small right now. Maybe when right now I'm saving like crazy to try to get another shop location. If I do that, it should be a lot more conducive to that, I hope. And that's something I do hope in the future to do. There, can't wait to see your perlite concoction. Well, I hope to get some more of it done here soon. Yep, if you're just making enough money to cover your fuel and your stock, man, it just really helps out. I mean, it really helps out. And then, I mean, you could save for the rest. I mean, if you don't want to charge people, I get that. You know, I feel like you're providing somebody a service, you know, when you're doing something that they can't do. You know, if you're making them a hook to hang a book bag up on, and you know it saved them from buying a chintzy one at Walmart, then I mean you did a great you did a great thing. So I'll try to stay small and humble there, Boiler Room, but you know, I don't know what God has planned for me. You know, I have the small guy in mind with everything I do, because no matter how successful I become, I really just want to bring other people up to that same level and that same standard, or at least show the route that you can take to get there at whatever level I'm at. So, you know, I mean, some people would consider me a poor man, but, you know, that's okay. Oh. I said it was a tax route. You can break even on the books for an expensive hobby. Yep. Yeah, you can break even on a hobby and stuff. That can happen too. So, yeah. Like I said, it's been a crazy journey, you know, and I've been really getting very, very busy in blacksmithing. I mean, very, very busy. The business has really taken off, which is great. I'm still a one-man show, so being that as it is, that, you know, it really takes a lot of hours. It takes a lot of licks. Right now, my biggest concern is my wrists, you know, with the carpal tunnel and stuff. That's really been bugging me lately with all the work, and, you know, I see increased problems as they get bigger. So some people are so poor all they have is money. You hiring? Not currently, just because of my shop situation, but I hope to someday, very soon. So let's see here. It is now September, and I'm thinking for in Christmas. Any suggestions? Oh, I'm sorry. What a beginner make as gifts. Split crosses. Yeah, split crosses are great. Anything that don't take a lot of time. So good night, John Coley. God bless you and your family as well. You're right, Ryan Odell. If you got a wife and daughter, you've got the world, my friend. You've got the world. So. What do you think about everyone that says you can't make a living at blacksmithing? I say, prove it to me. Prove it to me. Oh, you know, like, that's one of those ridiculous things, and it's a ridiculous notion. It's usually coming from a small-minded person who don't want any competition because they have a small view of the world. They think that they're the only one in it, and the 50 people that their shop services is the only thing. So what if you got 4 daughters and 3 sons? You're a busy man. That's what you are. You're a busy man, and you're probably broke in today's economy. You need to work a lot harder. Oh, and a few other things I won't mention on air. Hola to you too. Sorry I don't speak Spanish, but it's nice to see you on the thread anyhow. Oh. Yeah, that's a good one. That's a great one about that. So, vitamin E. Okay, cool. I'll have to do that. How long was it from the time I started till the time I make money? My wife wants you to have a baby. Pray for me. Yeah, it's a scary experience, but very rewarding. Let's see here. Yeah, from the time I started smithing, I didn't really get serious in it until 4 years later. Mainly, I just made gifts for family and friends, and I funded all my tooling, which wasn't much, all out of whatever I could, you know, at the end of the week. There wasn't much on the end of the paycheck, so if I had $20 at the end of the week, I was a happy man. So that's kind of just how I funded my first original shop, and I just did it all personally. The first year of business, I put pretty much everything I made back into it. The second year of business, I had no choice but to live on it and only made $800 a month. Third year of business, I was lazy and fat and I did not work. I had gotten to a point, a real rough place. I had lost my will to move forward in life. You know, there was a lot of things going on in my life. I had a car wreck. That's what forced me out. I was in pain with my sciatic nerve pain. And, of course, my weight just kept getting heavier and heavier. Most people don't know this, but I lost 73 pounds. That was last year. So, but, yeah, so it's been a long road. As far as where I could, so let's see here. That brings us up. That's 5 years ago I finally actually started really making an income at it, so to speak, that I could live on. And then I went on to moving, it's probably year number six into it. That's when I actually kind of decided to, do more just straight up blacksmithing versus the other entrepreneurial things we were doing and stop being so lazy. And here I am now. What diameter is your forge and chimney? How tall? The diameter of the forge is like 2 foot square. It's not really a diameter. It's like 2 foot square. Oh. I actually didn't quit HVAC. I got in a car wreck, and it took me 6 months to recover from it. I was walking on, crutches. So, and couldn't do the job anymore because HVAC required a lot of bending, shifting, twisting, and where my injury's at is right above the hip, and I'm not allowed to bend, twist, or do that, or at least I wasn't at the time. And so it was going to be a very long thing, and it wasn't at the point to where they could operate. So my wife works at home. She runs all the back end of the blacksmithing business that I do. The experiment with the new forge is going well. Right now it's holding up. I wanted to see how it does with moisture, heating, cooling, that sort of thing. So right now it's doing pretty well for what it is. To answer about the smokestack goes just above the roof line by about 2 feet. And then the diameter of the pipe is 10 inches. So, yeah, my kids are homeschooled. So, we live a very busy life. So, yeah, I predominantly, now that I have the tools so that I can make all my own tooling in house, I do everything in house now. Mostly, I do buy on occasion stuff eBay, things that I just don't want to fool with. I buy. I'm at that point now that I can buy stuff. So, let's see here. I'll slow you guys down here for a second. Where do you recommend a bit in southeastern Ohio? There is the Lockhart family, Doug Lockhart. You can check him out. He runs the Southern School of Blacksmithing. I think that's how you spell it. You can check him out. He should be close to you. Other than that, I would go to Sofa in Troy, Ohio. I have tried to take on an apprentice. That's a good question, Miles Calhoun. I've tried taking on apprentices before, and I have found that it's kind of hard to find somebody with the same passion that I have for it. And I'm a bit of I'm a hard guy to work for, I guess. Oh, I don't smooth things over. So if I tell you something, I mean for you to do it, and then if you don't do it right, then I get on to you, and I expect you not to cry. I expect you to just get the job done the way it's supposed to be. So that is the reason why I guess I haven't had an apprentice. I like teaching guys. I really like doing that. I like teaching guys. But then I come down to a thing where I have got to adjust time in teaching. I'm glad you love what I'm doing there, James. Thank you. So, yeah, you could say that, Steve Olin. So, yeah, pretty much. So, I'm kind of a no bull about it kind of guy, and I've just been that way since I've worked in the trades. When I worked in heating and air, I started heating and air conditioning when I was 15. Finished my homeschooling where I graduated, and then started right in 16 years of age. Yeah, good work ethic's a hard thing to find. I find that is passion. If I ever hire somebody on, I want them to be passionate about something. They don't have to be passionate so much about wanting to stay with me for the next 40 years, but they need to take and be passionate about something. They need to want something in life, and then be willing to work and sweat and bleed and burn their tails off like I do every single day to take and achieve that goal. And if they're willing to do that, I'll hire it in an instant. But it takes true grit to take and do to do this business, or to run a business, or be an entrepreneur. It's a very tough thing to do. It's not all cupcakes and creams. You know, I was a horrible employee when I was an HVAC guy. If I ever had to go back to doing heating and air conditioning on any level, I have mass respect for employers. Mass respect for them now. I was a horrible employee, you know, back then. And I guess I've kind of got that come back to me a couple times, so. Just forge a knife. Not gonna happen. Worst blacksmith-related injury. I went over that earlier in the live stream, but I'll do it again. My wrists. You know, carpal tunnel. Swinging a hammer the wrong way. Just years of doing that. That severely irritated it. So, yeah, wrist. Or wrists. Plural or whatever. You know, these things. Whatever these are. They're connected to this thing. Thank you. I appreciate the prayers. I need them, so. Did I teach myself to weld? Pretty much. I've had a little bit of experience. I had a little bit of on-job experience in HVAC. I had some grease hoods I had to weld up, if you're talking about electric welding. As far as forge welding, I've watched a lot of videos. I've read a lot of books on the subject. I've taken classes with people. I'm trying to change up this light a little bit. It's a little harsh on the face. I don't know if I helped that any, so. Here, what do you think of? Don't know who they are. Antifa. Don't know that at all. Oh, not that bright, I guess. Oh. Yeah, not a real blacksmith, but a real entrepreneur. I'll take that. Tommy copper pressure sleeves are awesome, Roy. I might give those a shot. Let's hear. Yeah, everybody wants to know if you're going to make a knife. That's the first thing, you know. It is. It's always the first thing. And actually, I've got something coming up in, I believe it's northeastern Ohio. It's north of Columbus. It's for a group of about 200 boys, about middle school to high school age. And so the theme of it, this guy that's doing it is iron sharpens iron. So it goes along with biblical principles, and it also goes along, they wanted me to teach and instruct as a blacksmith. And so mainly I'm going to be doing a demonstration, so I'm looking forward to that. So I know, Steve Olin, I know you're yanking my leg, man. Oh. What's up with a couple day class? Not sure what you mean by that, Curtis, with a couple-day class. I'll try to answer that question more in depth here in a second. Can figure that out. So, yep, I don't hammer with my thumb on the handle either. That's another thing I don't do. Actually, I learned that one pretty well on. Like, I never liked doing that from the start. I always rang my thumb something weird. Maybe I have big thumbs or short, or I don't know. They were designed wrong for doing that. So, how about a stock removal knife? You're never getting a knife out of me, my friend. Never. Wife never does swing a hammer with me. Every now and then she does. So, hey, Peterson, good to see you. Glad you got here. Oh, a class at my shop. Class at my shop. Right now I can't, just because of the situation. One, it's a very tiny shop. Two, I rent here. I don't own, and so I've got to be careful of the landlord and insurance purposes, things like that. So, yeah, scroll work and fancy things, they're for me too. Oh, you found that preaching message. Did. It's too big to send it to me in email. That is a problem. I don't know if there's a link to it. I don't know if you have it stowed somewhere else, or you could generate a link. That might be an option. Oh. You got me. You got me. Darn it. I knew I should have done that polishing video. Justin Wells, answer your question. If I had the opportunity to go pay for a blacksmithing class or buy an anvil, what should I do? It would be my advice, if you have the opportunity for a blacksmithing class, I'd take a blacksmithing class any day. You can assemble the tools, it just requires it to hurt your pocketbook. That would be my answer to that. If you just don't have anything to smith on, experience can be one of your greatest teachers. I'd buy the anvil. I don't do woodwork. Horrible at woodworking. I mean, I can frame. I put up this whole building, but I can do that type of stuff. Nope, don't do any of the woodwork for the business. Now, I have crates that I sell, that I ship out my ironwork in, and those I have done by a woodworker. No, I haven't ever watched a sermon called God's Anvil. Sounds interesting. I might Google that later. Am I ever going to make a sword? I live way out in the country. I have no problem with sound ordinances or anything like that as of yet. Oh, you'd like to see me make a cane? Oh, that's an interesting one. I might try that. That's a good one, Boiler Room. Thank you. Hey, I'm glad you are enjoying the content there. I think it's I don't know how to pronounce the screen name, but thanks. Anyhow. So yeah, so I'm hoping within a week or so we can have some ideal on the blacksmithing merchandise. If you just stop for a second. There it is. So right now we finally settled down on something that looks very similar to this. And you can pick it on a black shirt. And I believe there's going to be a few other coloration options that you can choose from. And so it's going to be this. And then later on I plan on offering mugs for guys who want those things. Yeah, you got to change it to something a little more common. That'd be good. Sorry I'd not be able to pronounce it. I wasn't even going to try, so. A knife for shaving, LOL. Nope, not at all. Paul's Garage, you're too good, dude. You're too good at what you do. Oh. You never know, those knights might come out of the woodwork, start, lay up a siege mound against your house. Then what? You'll have to throw liquid brass at them or something. Or liquid copper. Chainmail rings. That would be fun, so you'll have to run. Oh, yeah, you will. Probably fast, huh? I'd just splash them with it and then run. No one expects the Spanish Inquisition. I hope not. They weren't nice people. Yeah. 106 here. Good Lord, Ryan Hundell. Yeah, it's like 50. It's like 55 or something here. It's crazy. I mean, I guess it is September. Oh, cool. You tried the ram's head today. That's awesome, Chris. You're going to look like a damsel in distress. It might work for you. It might work for you. You might have to trim that beard a little bit, though. Oh, sorry, that was an old Monty Python joke. I don't know. I guess I missed the joke. Sorry about that. The highest profit item I've ever sold. Good Lord, that's a good question. I would say the highest profit item that I ever sold that I actually really made out well on was a 4-inch copper bowl, to be honest. If you want to talk about margins. If you want to talk about actual money, sold. Sorry. Yeah, it is freezing here. That's why I got this on here. Very good. Yeah, if you're talking about like just value wise, the most expensive thing I've ever sold was $4,800. You know, and that was a lot of money. Or no, $3,800. Sorry about that. Show me your big nose. Don't have one. I don't think my wife would appreciate the I'll show you mine, you show me yours kind of thing. So, yeah, you need to forge a paddle for the kayak. Yeah. How long did you work on that project? Oh, months, like 3 months. But I had other stuff I was doing too. So, the average time I spend on a project, that's a good one. So that one's a little harder to narrow down. So I do things in batches. So if I've got copper bowls to do, I do each stage in a batch. So I do the forging all in one step. If there's customization, I'll do that all in one step. If there's polishing, I do all of that in one step. And then, you know, there's usually painting and finishing, and I do all that in one step. So the average time I probably spend on per item or per project is maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours. I try to keep it to that. That way I can cram as much stuff into a day as I can. I send my stuff every which way that it can be sent. USPS, UPS, and FedEx. Largest size project I've ever done? That would be probably the 3-foot in diameter copper bird bath that I made. I do structural work occasionally. In fact, I've got a quote that I'm going to be doing for a place out in Oklahoma for a railing. So we'll have to see how that works. If you're asked about where did I send it, the bowl, I actually took that all the way up to South Bend, Indiana. LOL, make something. That'll be in a future video. I'll try to make something. A regular, to answer the question, shutting down the coal forge one, yeah, a regular grilling grate probably won't handle the heat. It'll probably melt for the most part. It's just small little iron rods. Something a lot heavier like cast iron grate, yeah, it would be able to handle the heat if it's cast iron. My production orders. That's another good question. You know, I would say probably 20 or 30% is custom orders, where everything else is something that I offer as a standardized item. That's why it's important to have both. You know, you want your butter items, but you also want your bread items. You know, your bread items are your go-tos. They're what you have on your site. You have multiple variations of them, and then you've got your butter items. If you want to send me something, you'll have to get with me direct over at blacksmithpdfs.org. Just type in a message there, and me and Jess can get back with you with an address and things like that. Safety reasons, you're not supposed to put that online, I guess. So, don't have to worry about sending me anything, but that's nice. Unless it's $5 or something like that, I always take money. Sorry, Charles May, that the buffering's happened on your screen, buddy. Good night. Hopefully no one else is having that problem. Oh. Yeah, 1/4-inch plate with holes drilled in it. That can work too. Yeah, I need a PO box. Yeah, I've been giving that some thought. That way when all my hate mail, you know, comes in, it can just go there. I just like look at it like return to sender, return to sender, return to sender. Just send me a railroad spike knife. Hey, I'll take it if somebody else makes it. Yeah, he wants to send you a knife. Yeah, you caught on too. Man, you're quick. Yeah, hate mail, not me. You'd be surprised. There's a lot of guys who just cannot stand the information I put out there. Yeah, the post office has large trash cans. That's true. That's true. You know, that could be fun. If I ever got hate mail like that, I could do a live stream with the hate mail and the people's stuff, you know, their names and addresses. That would work. The thickness of my fire pot, I don't know. I want to say it's cast. It's well over a 1/4-inch thick cast. It's probably 3/8 inch thick. It's a heavy, heavy fire pot. Toss them in the forge after, yeah. Yeah, you could do that. Yeah, definitely get with me over there at that email or at the contact on the page there. Yeah, free kindling, that'd be the way to go. Unfortunately, a lot of trees will have to die for their opinions, huh? Written on paper. I got my anvil from Georgia. That's where I got. Yeah, finding somebody to make stuff in cast, that's a hard, yeah, that's hard to do. So, like 1/4-inch thick steel plate could be good. You can go heavier than that. The heavier the better, the longer it'll last. Opinion on hammer. Power hammer or hand hammer? I've never given the anvil back either. Hand hammer. I like my hand hammer that I made, but I'm partial to it because I spent a lot of time working on it. I do like square hammers. Square hammers, not round hammers, not rounded face hammers, not octagons. I like square. Just a square, blocky hammer. And reason for that being is it allows me to get real in close up to shoulders and things like that with my hammering. I find it very handy for reach purposes. But I think it's all, you know, hand hammers as far as opinions, it's always, you know, based upon your work. I'm not partial to any of my hammers. I make them as I need them. If I need a specially shaped one, I'm going to make one. I'm not going to try to get, you know, a duck to do what a cow does. So that's kind of my thought process on hammers there. Yeah, cast fire pots, they're really expensive. So the reason why cast fire pots are so expensive is because of the way that they are produced. I mean, you got to buy thousands of those suckers, and in trying to get a small run, you're going to pay a premium for it. So, yeah, if you're buying your first hammer tomorrow, you know, just buy what suits well for you. I would do something light. Try to do something lighter that'll still be able to move things around the 2-pound mark. You're welcome, Pauls. Think about that. You're going to sleep on that one tonight, buddy. Oh, yeah, trying to get cow's milk out of a duck. Not going to happen. The reason why anvil does not ring is because of the way the bass is constructed. It kills the vibrations or the harmonics that do the thing. I did a whole video on making that anvil stand, or how to make an anvil stand. You might want to look at that on the website. You can just type it in under the search bar. Yeah, it is sand filled. The legs are sand filled. Not the whole base is, but just the legs. You're welcome. They have blacksmith hammers, huh, at Lowe's. I have to check that out. I think I'll do that next time I'm in there. See what you're talking about. So, yeah, any of those could work well. Does what work with a power hammer? If you could be a little more excited. You know what? I'm going to have you out someday, and you can prove that. You can show me your anvil. And you can, I'll even let you tap a few times on my piece of junk. That'd be great. Does wood absorb as well? You have to put magnets on something. I've had a wood stump before and it did not absorb the sound well. You have to anchor it really good. The wood itself has got to be fairly dense wood and sunk in the ground usually to kill the harmonics. And you have to strap the anvil down insanely tight to it to kill the ring. Other people put chains around them and things like that. Oh, does it work on power hammers with absorbing the sound? Yeah, anywhere in the framework that's not the anvil. If you want to fill that with sand, that's great. Otherwise, the sand will absorb kinetic energy as well. Yeah, I don't like the plastic or rubber handles either. Now, I've heard that the fiberglass, you know, I mean, they're coated in plastic. They're fiberglass hammer handles. I've heard that those are the best thing for your wrist, so I may have to go to that. I don't know. They ring best on wood. Well, that's a good thing to know. I had a 300-pound. It was an English pattern anvil. I didn't know the make of it, and the thing rang like a bell. And the only thing I could do to stop it was put a little piece of rubber around the horn. For some reason, that would kill it. I tried magnets. I tried chain. Nothing did it. I mean, I had set it on lead. Nothing would kill the ring. And then I put this little rubber boot on the horn and it killed it. So, you just got to do what you got to do. You know, a rubber boot, hey, that might be the option for some guys' horns. It was a little annoying because then whenever you needed to use the horn, you had to take off the rubber boot and then it would fall somewhere and then you had to find it again. And it was kind of a pain in the butt, but it might be good. Hey, you could always weld a horn or a hardy hole into it. Hey, that would be awesome. Yeah, send me a link, Cheshire when you do that. Yeah, they'll probably love you. Good luck to you on the lottery. It's a flat face, is my hammer. It's flat face with the corners removed. Yeah, I did some smelting, and mainly of silver. I've done silver, I've done brass, and I've done, what was it, zinc. Which is actually very tricky to do, zinc is. It's a very low boiling point. You have a large deck cleat for a horn. That could probably work. Discord or something you have that I can contact you from. Best place to contact me is to go to Blacksmith pdfs.org, and there's a contact thing there, and you can contact me there, and then I can get back with you and correspond with email. Then you'll have my email and the whole thing like that. I was expressly warned not to put my by Jessica to not put our email up. I guess there's some stuff that you can do for scammers or something like that. So yeah, there's not that many videos on smelting on YouTube, but I would suggest that you go check out Paul's Garage. Guy's got a lot of videos, you know, where he's trying to take and do a lot of smelting. It is blacksmithpdfs.com. A railroad track here. Needs something different. Yeah, I mean, a railroad track will get you by. Ultimately, with that's why I'm sending them to you, Paul. So, ultimately, with any sort of tooling or equipment in blacksmithing, you're going to have to find that you have to upgrade, and therefore you got to put your money where your mouth is. You know, I've had guys tell me there's no way in heck they can afford a good anvil, but yet they've got the nicest smartphone. They've got the current rendition that just got released, and they can't afford an anvil, but they can afford a $1,000 phone. So let's see here. This is for, all right, who's K here? Let's see here. We're going to block you, buddy. Oh, because I don't like you. There you go. Where do you find Hardy Tooling? I make it, so. Hey, you're welcome, JP Muzz, so. Yeah, an anvil's nice too. Oh. So any mods around? Not sure what you mean by that, Paul. Got him. Good. Yeah. I don't know if anybody saw that, but we just got a troll. So yeah, I'm gonna have to start making some guys Motorola's. Can you hit? No, you can't hit hot metal on a smartphone. That'd be a fun video though. I've got some old flip phones around I could do. So, yep, 55-pound Harbor Freight anvil will work. So, yeah, I don't know if anybody saw that troll's comment, but that's what happens to trolls when people troll me. I just delete you. That way I don't have to lose my Christianity and tell you what I really think about you. Oh. Shower my smartphone with grinding sparks. I didn't like that. You'll do it? Okay. I might make you moderator for the next time around. I'll see if I can't set that out with the wife. Oh. Yeah, I could tell people exactly what I think of them, but it wouldn't be nice. You know, it's a funny thing. It's a funny thing on the internet. People think that they can get away with saying anything to you, and it's so funny because if they met me in real life, they wouldn't be saying those things. I look so small. I look so small and unintimidating on my phone screen to everybody, you know? Yeah, I've broken my phone screen with that, so tell me how you feel. You know what I feel? I feel energetic and charged, and I was so excited. But you're over 6 foot. Yeah, I'm 6'1". Oh, I'm 6'1". I'm 200 pounds, and I can hold my own. I can hold my own. Oh, but yeah, I just want to put out positivity here. You know, I try to do my best to put out as much positivity as I can for guys and things like that. And, you know, like you guys really blessed me the other day when, I did that live stream. Man, that just charged me up. I was ready. I couldn't wait for today. So, I love talking to you guys. That's why I've been talking for an hour and 38 minutes. Oh. I'm 6'2". Hey, it's good to know I've got big backup. Oh, Steve Olin, yeah, tough guy. Used to be. Then I got married and I have kids and I don't want to go to prison, so I settle down. Oh. 6'4", wow. Okay. Hello, Gregory. Good to have you. 5'8", 5'11", LOL. Hey, we can't count the short guys out. You guys can go, do the old over/under. So, no, never been to jail. Won't tell my criminal history though. Bad thing to do on the internet. I'm not a stupid criminal. 4'2". Wow. Okay, that's getting a little small. So. Hey, don't discount people of any size. Learn that very early on. 155 pounds if you believe my driver's license. Yeah, mine's coming up for review here soon, so. Hey, it's a blessing to chat with you guys too. So, yeah, you won't want to believe my driver's license. In fact, my driver's license still has it from when I was 270 pounds. So I look like a completely different guy. So, that's very interesting. Yeah, let's see here. Does size matter in a fight? Absolutely not. Oh. 5'11", 240, need to get off the sodas. Yep, I got off the soda too, so. Cast iron anvils aren't that dangerous. If they break, they usually just crumble if they break. I would heat it. I would, be careful with it. Wear a good pair of leathers on that, so. Hey, we'll see you, Chris Lawrence. God bless you, brother. All you need is long arms, yep. 200, that's awesome, Steve Olin. Good to hear it, buddy. I'm sure you feel great. So, size can matter. I've taken on people a lot larger than me, and I've taken on people smaller than me. It doesn't really matter. It's how educated you are, and reading your opponent. But I'm not a boxing channel, so I won't go into that. But let you guys draw your own conclusions. You sent me a message, and how you can tell is I'm Frost. Okay, good to know. Nope. If you can avoid fighting, that's the way to go. To back out of the situation, if you can. That's the way to do it. Hey, cool. Yeah, I appreciate you watching some of my other videos. So, see here. Is this a religious channel? No, I do have religion. I have faith in God and my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, and that's apparent by my name of Christ-Centered Ironworks. But I am not a preacher, so I won't preach at you. You're in charge of your own soul, whether you believe you have one or not. That's your thing. So, yep, lovely talking with you too, brother. Godspeed. What do you do if someone gets close to you? Don't let them get close to you. Never. Yep. I agree the same way. Oh. I let, I let people sneeze and tell them you don't know what they have. You don't know what you have. Ha! That's funny. That's good stuff there. Throw a Roro's fight knife. Give them a hug. Yeah. Have you ever heard of a Herpel Nurple? Let's hear. Laminating silver or gold. How do you do like in the Bible? I don't know. That would be awesome to learn though. Yeah, I like teaching more too. So I believe in living my faith out. And, and I don't exemplify, I don't claim to be Christ. I don't claim to know everything there is to know. I just don't believe in doing that. I believe in being a real human being. You can accept me with my faults and my failures and my triumphs. And, gosh, you guys are good. See, like, I laugh at comments like that. If they encroach on my 3-foot personal space, I fart. That is just great, man. Yeah. Yeah, for anybody who doesn't know what a herple nurple is, I'm just going to do that and let you guys fit there, so. If they're too close to your face, offer them a Tic Tac. That's a good way, too. Gosh, I love hearing about all you guys' way. You know, it's funny, a lot of you guys' thinking's not too far from my own. Oh. Yeah, kind of like a skunk. Yeah, you're exactly right. Yeah, right brain, I guess, yeah. I'm a lefty, so people don't know that. Southpaw, so. Message retracted. Yep, try to live by example. Oh. Yeah. Yep, the take me or leave me kind of mentality. So, you know, the funny thing is that that'll rub some people the wrong way. Yeah, and it is very hard to, you know, live that way. That is very true. You know, it's hard to be a good Christian, be open with people. I think that's needed so much in this world. So, yes, I can swing a hammer ambidextrous. I can swing it with my left or with my right. I favor my right hand when I swing a hammer, but I do everything else like writing and a lot of other stuff with my left hand. And forge two things at once. I might try that. Oh. See here. Can I get a shout out? I'm not sure what you want me to shout out there, Sambino Avia, but I noticed you anyhow, so. Yep, you're not alone, Corvus. Yep, that's a good way of doing it. Who did you have in the Mayweather-McGregor fight? I don't favor cocky guys. I didn't watch the match, but I don't favor people who run their mouth. If you run your mouth too much, then you know you're probably going to get owned in a situation like that. So, I just watched one of the replays on it. I don't really watch fighting that much anymore. It stirs me. Where am I from? I was an Ohio native born, and I've lived all over. My dad was in the military. Oh, yeah, you're right. They both do that. So, nope, I don't watch TV. Yep, pride becomes for the fall. Me too. I try to run towards pie every chance I get, unless I'm on my diet. Then I try that. Oh, I run my mouth too much. Yeah, well, it's too, but it's usually good and heavenly things that I try to let run out of it. So, yep, I vote for the ref. God, I love all you guys out here. Oh, Sabino, I'm not going to give you a shout out. And if you put another comment up there, and hopefully this is just it lagging, but if you put another one up there, I'm going to probably mute you. Do you own a gun? Yep, multiples. Firm believer in it. Second Amendment. Although they don't do much but collect dust for me. I don't do anything else with them. I used to hunt. I don't have time for hunting anymore, so. Yep, I love freedom. I love every bit of freedom and opportunity that, you know, America provides, for sure. Yeah, seafood, I eat it. Yeah, that's a good diet, too. I used to be that way, but I feel a lot better now. So I still see food and I eat it, but I just eat healthy stuff if I can. All right, we're going to get another one. Goodbye. Boy, I love blocking people. Oh. Oh, that's cool. Nope, never been to those arcs. Just ban them and mute them. You got it. So. I don't tolerate profanity or cussing or any of that business. You're going to throw that out at me, you better know how to run. You can run your mouth somewhere else. I won't put up with it. Yeah, you're talking about, hey man, you got to catch on quick. You got to see them real quick. Well, I don't know if he was talking about himself or not, but he's gone. He used the word shout out again, and I told him not to, so there you go. Let's see here. There's a good one. So what do you think of Trump overall? Don't know. Don't like any of my current political leaders. I don't believe that they have the interest of the common man in mind. Yeah, you always had to fight him there, Brody. That would have been funny. How do I stay positive? I live off of the fact that I have so much want to live in life. I have goals, I have ambitions, I have dreams, and that every person that's ever had a goal, a dream, a hope, something that they wanted to do in their life has had to ignore people that are hate. You know, that hate people. That's how I stay. That's how I stay positive. People who try, you know, to hate on you all the time and things like that. You can usually look at their situation, and why they're so hateful is because, well, they don't like where they're living at. So, yeah, it does. Profanity shows a lack of the English language. Yep, it's very true. Back in my former days, back when I worked in HVAC, especially in the earlier years when I first got in, I mean, I would have dropped an F-bomb every 5 seconds, and it just showed an unintelligence, you know. I just did it to kind of fit in. Have you ever read The Village Blacksmith? The poem? Briefly, the poem. If there's an actual book, I haven't read it, I don't think. No. Yeah, yeah, I've read the poem briefly, not all the way through, but it's kind of like on a wall. It's kind of a neat poem. Would I discuss my 5-year plan for my business? Yeah, I have no problem with that. So what you'll find is I'm a very open person. So, you know, my 5-year plan for my business is to hopefully have a much larger shop. I want something kind of medial in range, about 4,500 square feet. I would like to be doing large-scale ironwork. I would eventually like to work on my LifeWorks, which I've mentioned in my last live stream, which is large, full-scale representation of biblical scenes. I feel like that's something God's had on my heart for a long time. I still got a long way to go before I'm ready to do that, but it's there. Yep, you got to find something positive. You know, something else that charges me up, guys, is I get a lot of great comments from you guys, like just a ton, just an outpouring. So for the 4 people that are real ignorant, you guys are awesome. I mean, you guys are awesome. I mean, there's 39 people watching, there's 39 likes, and, you know, I can't ask for more than that. I never thought a live stream would go this popular just yet, so. Thank you, Boiler Room. God bless you, brother. Glad to have you here. Oh. Well, I'm glad you think I'm worth great comments. Oh. Thank you, Gregory. I really appreciate that. So, you know, I do try to put that out and try to put out that positivity. There's way too much. Way too much. Hey, Will. Good to see you. Glad to see you on the live stream. I had fun talking to you and corresponding earlier. Coal and forge readily available in Dayton area. Yes, at SOFA, Southern Ohio Forge and Anvil. Yep, I've done some repose work before. Very little, just more tinkering around. Hey, Al Williams. Glad to have you here. Thank you, brother. God bless you. Have a great week or weekend. Oh, and shout out. Bin Tomes. I'm not sure what that means. What's the smallest size blacksmith? Hey, Brody, I think you've been made an administrator, pal. You know, a moderator by Jessica. It's got a mechanics wrench on your name. That's cool. What's the smallest size blacksmith shop you would be okay to work in with not very much tooling? I worked in a 6x10 shed. That's probably the smallest. If I didn't have a shed, I'd work outside under a tree. That's what I started with. So. For someone getting into the art, I recommend anything that's a bolt jaw tong. See here. Go look at the last post, and it was because of the other guy that got banned by saying shout out. Are you asking to be banned too, Ben Tomes? I'm sorry if you are, pal. See here. Wow, he got promoted. Yep, got promoted, so if only the wrench was a hammer. Hey, I've hit stuff with a wrench before. No cover in Texas. Hey, that works too. Yeah, I mean, you know, you just got to do what you got to do, so. It's a band hammer. That would be funny. Yeah, that wrench is a band hammer. Yeah, wolf jaw tongs, they're a great option, especially if you're needing a lot of variety with tongs until you can make stuff. So. Don't worry, Ben. I'm just fooling with you, man. I thought you were meaning that you wanted me to ban you too. So this chat might be lagging a little bit. So I'm sorry if I'm not getting up to your guys' comments. Apologize for that quick. So yeah, you're very welcome. One of the things I hope to do sometime in the future is be able to get to that point, get to a place where I can take and help guys out and give away tongs and give away things like that. I mean, you know, I hope to be doing so financially well someday that my cup runneth over. That would be awesome. Because I know it's tough. I know it's tough when you're just starting out to try to assemble everything you need, so. Good night, Harrison Clark. God bless you. And you're very welcome for the Q&A session. I'll answer. Hey, have a good night. JP Muzz. Oh. Yeah, I'll answer for Jessica. She'll have to comment as me from our channel if she replies, but I'm sure she said you're welcome. I'm out in the shop, she's in the house probably watching this live stream. Very interesting rap and rhyme there. I just need to get my forge installed, my binder installed, and I can make a start. That'd be awesome. We do good. Apparently we've got an amateur rapper in here. Or professional. I don't listen to rap, so... You hit that Lambo too. That's interesting. Way off the subject of blacksmithing, by the way, but we'll take it. Live streams are interesting for that. So, you know, guys, when I sat down, I actually thought I'm going to do a, like, quick 20 or 30-minute live stream, and here it is. Hey, Jackson, good to see you again. Glad you're back. Country is the best. I like country a lot. I like old country, though. I like old country. I don't like the new stuff. So. Okay, so let's see here. I'm gonna Dragon Tie, I'm gonna give you this one chance here, bud. I don't like cussing. And Daniel Marchuk, you better watch the cussing. If I see the cussing again, you're gone. Oh. I'm glad you all like long videos. Yeah, we do need. All right. Let's see here, Brody. Do you want to take care of Dragon Tie for me? Yep, kids can be watching. All right. Let's see here. I'm just waiting. Just waiting. Keep talking smack, guys. See, I'm already being too nice. I'm gonna just delete you. I don't know if I can get that here. Let's see here. Block him. Let's see here. Let's see if I can do another, guys. Sorry, guys. It's gonna take me a minute to remove some trolls. There we go. Got some trolls gone. What is your next video about? My next video. Gosh, you asked me too quickly. I'm not sure. Making tongs is coming up. That's not going to be my next video, though. Gosh, what was it? Man, I can't think now. You guys tripped me up on that. That's a good question. I guess you'll have to wait and see till tomorrow. It's been a long day. Oh. Yeah, as far as putting a timer on it, I don't know. I'm thinking maybe 30-minute live streams. I don't want to keep everybody too long, and at the same point, I gotta go, you know, to bed too at some point. You know, I really enjoy. Oh, gonna go make a knife. Go ahead, make a knife. Oh, no, I'm not gonna make a knife. If that was the question, so. Nuts, I was hoping I was going to win a prize, lol. No prizes yet. Oh, you just get to spend time with me. Difference between forging high carbon steel and mild steel. One, you have to pay a lot closer attention to heat control, and you know the other one, not so much. One moves easier than the other. Let's see here. What style of tong do you recommend for beginners? Set down or something else? I recommend bolt jaw tongs. Just because they're universal, you can get all sorts of shapes in them. It'll work. So, how would you bend sheet metal without a sheet metal bender? In the vice jaw. You can do a lot in the vice jaw. And use a rawhide mallet or a wooden mallet to bend it over. Cutting perfect circles definitely starts with layout. You'll want to take and draw a real nice circle, scribe out a real nice circle, and then stay to the outside of that line, and then sand up to the line is the best way usually to do it. Never added carbon to mild steel. Not really into the metallurgy side of things. Let's see here. What style of tong do you? Let's see here. You mean for forging style? Bolt jaws. I like tongs, bolt jaws. I'm not sure if I'm reading that totally right. Yeah, I'm glad you caught this. The stream. So let's see here. Can you show me how to make a center punch? Yeah, I mean, I could do a video on a center punch, a good one. So, God bless you, Joshua. We'll catch you later, buddy. Big sheets of metal. I don't know why the thing was gone. See you, Steve Olin. You have a great weekend too, pal. Large sheets, you start at one end, you make a crease, you go over to the other one, you make a crease, and then you work that crease across. If it's a thin sheet of material like sheet metal, you can score it along the line, and then that will fold it and break it. Or we'll do like a cross breaking of it, and then you can bend on that score mark. That's a good way of doing that. Yeah, but it is interesting. It's 8 p.m. here in Saskatchewan. Yeah, it's 10:05 now here. That'd be awesome to do that. Yeah, Jessica does need to come out to the shop and say, hey, I'm sure the kiddos are in bed by now. Maybe she'll take your advice on that. Stop listening from a distance, hun. I'm calling out Jess, just in case she's looking at here, so that'd be awesome. 2106 here, 2100 hours. Oh man, it's been a long time since my dad was in the military. That one escapes me. Let's hear it. It's what, 1 o'clock? It's 9. Okay, 9:06. Well, that's good to know. I didn't know it was 2100 hours. I don't know. I'm bad military brat. Oh, you minus the 12 off the 21. Okay. See? You guys are taking me to school. Hey, we'll see you next time, Paul's Garage. Thank you. Thank you for stopping by, man. Really appreciate what you're doing out there on YouTube. Keep up the great work. Retired Navy. Well, thank you, sir. Thank you for your service. Uh-oh. We've got somebody here.
Oh, I was just going to watch from the side.
She was just going to watch from the side. She ain't watching from the side.
Oh, yeah.
Come in here, my beautiful wife.
I guess you can see me.
You guys get a treat. Oh.
Hi.
Hi. Live streaming. Oh. Waves. I like that. Gotta say hi.
Yeah. Hi, guys. I was watching from the computer inside anyway, as you probably noticed. So.
Yeah, you do need to teach me how to forge, Brody. You'll be all right. Here, babe. You can see. I'm gonna go grab me another thing. You can talk to her for a minute.
Good. Yeah, the kids are in bed, so I figured I might as well stop out for a little bit. So.
There we go. Now you get to see both our beautiful faces. So while she's here, do you guys have any questions for her?
Oh.
Sup, dude's wife.
Hi, my name's Jessica.
Yeah, I'm glad. I'm glad you guys are enjoying the channel. Yeah, there's a lot of garbage out there on the internet, you know, and so we hope to bring a little different slice to the thing. So our children, let's see here, we got a just turned 7.
Yep.
Yep, a 7-year-old.
Almost 5.
Almost 5.
And 3.
And a 3-year-old.
Yep, 2 years apart.
Yeah. Answer the question, have my kids ever helped me in the forge? I had one child once help me in the forge. And that was Abigail, our oldest. And she burnt herself pretty bad on a bar. She was way too young. I think she was 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was 5. I was just trying to show her something. She's like, get it hot, Daddy, get it hot. And I'm like, I got it hot. And she just walked her hands right up to the hot end to hold it. Dropped it. She cried. Doesn't want anything to do with forging after that.
Yeah, she still remembers that story to this day. It's been like at least 2 years. And yeah,
well,
she's
yeah,
like, I don't want to. But actually, you had Ivan forge a little heart.
Yeah, I did do that.
Of copper, so...
Yeah, we love working together. We've always loved working together. Years ago, before I started doing this, I started... oh, hey, got some for here. Sorry, I'll shut up. I've been talking enough. Thank you for the useful info on the business side of things, Jess.
Yeah, you're very welcome. I know a lot on so many different topics. It's kind of hard to sometimes figure out which route I should go with the business videos. So everybody's welcome to leave some comments on what you would like to see or see more of, or maybe a topic I haven't delved into yet. And I can try to touch on more of those.
Yeah.
I have a few coming up. We're going to be talking a little bit about doing a logo, because that's kind of a process we went through here recently. And also like building your own website too. So
Bodie, not Brody. Sorry, brother. Bodie. I'm going to remember that one of these. So
you have to now. He's a moderator.
I am. You're a moderator now. Bodie. Yeah, there you go. Bodie the moderator. We've given you the hammer.
Or the wrench. Yeah.
Or the wrench.
Yeah.
You can beat people with the wrench, I guess.
Yep. Which we'll probably end up adding another 1 or 2 moderators, so it's not all on one person. But
loved your Etsy videos, Jessica.
Awesome. Cool. Yeah, we have a lot of experience on Etsy, and so that's why we did those video series.
Yep. Oh, thank you, Jackson. Yeah, it's a lot of work. That's mostly her work. I did choose kind of the theme and what I wanted to portray to the customer, and then she made it a reality. So, that's her work right there. Somebody had asked earlier if Jessica has a day job, and that is her job. So, being an entrepreneur and a mom. Yeah,
definitely. It takes a lot of creativity, just even doing the listing part of it. I have to... write descriptions for the items, and you want to try to make that real nice, and also the photographs. So I get to enjoy doing a lot of creative things on the back end.
Yeah. See here. Good to know that Bodie, that you will be here every Friday. That's awesome. 13-year-old learning with you? That's great, too. I'm glad you liked the Ram's Head video there. And 3 stepkids, age 21, 17, 15, and 3-year-old from my own. Yep, they're all kids. They're all kids. They can't choose how they get born into this life, but man, they're blessed that they find somebody who'll take up for them, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah, definitely.
Yep. Yeah. Figuring out a touch mark, that's kind of a hard one to do for a lot of guys that, they want to convey the right message with their touch mark. My only suggestion is try to make it fairly minuscule so this way it doesn't overpower your work when you do make it.
Yeah, I think also when we do that video, I might try to put a link down in the description. We know a couple of different people that that actually make the little touch marks. So if you're actually looking to have a metal stamp made, then we might try to include that also.
You're a 35-year-old grandfather, LOL. Well, you started young, that's for sure. That's for sure. Oh, can you all guess our age? Maybe we said it before. Yep, you want to keep the touch mark simple if you can. Simple and fairly obscure, so this way you can put it in smaller areas of stuff. So, guess is 32. Yeah, Hoffman's Blacksmithing. Yeah, his touch mark is massive for real.
Do I ever direct how you work? That's a funny question. Yeah.
She tries.
I do try, yeah.
She tries, so.
Yeah, he doesn't put up with it, though, so.
Yep. Bill Baller is so far the closest one to guessing our age,
yeah,
so.
That was kind of a general, 9-year spans that he guessed, though.
Yeah. Later 20s. We'll see you, Cheshire. Oh. She makes the logo. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, cross with 4 dots. That'll work. Oh. Sorry if I offended you. Nope, not at all.
54.
54? Is that a combined total? Who's the boss? Who do you think? That's an easy one. It's an easy one.
Mm-hmm. I see that finger pointing.
I'm glad you're enjoying listening. Oh. I get a little lag there. Oh. Yeah, it's funny. We work together. We work together as a team. And I don't say that as, just like, oh, yeah, we work together as a team. No, we really do. I do my job. She does hers. And we work together on everything in between. For a combined total of 108. There you go. Yeah, that's a good one. So,
you're terrible at guessing ages.
Yeah, you're terrible at that. So, good night, Jackson. God bless you, man. So, we'll catch you on the next live one. So, yeah, our ages, big reveal. I'm 29.
Mm-hmm.
28.
Yet to be announced.
Yeah.
I would have left it at that.
She's 28. I'm going to ruin it for her, so.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. Rude.
I'm from Colorado. My parents actually live in Colorado, so that's cool.
Yeah. See, live stream's neat, ain't it?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it's very neat, so.
It's kind of different getting used to the comments popping up and then,
responding, yeah. Shoes are a thing. Yeah, that's funny, yeah.
I'm actually wearing sandals right now. I know,
yeah.
Terrible idea. I know, but...
Yeah. Hello, Prepper Madness. Oh. Dang, I was so close-ish, huh, Bodie? Not even close, pal. Not even close. But we dig it anyhow. Oh. Oh, man. So any questions for Jessica while we got her in the shop? So
put me on the spot.
Maybe put it up for 5 or 10 more minutes, so... Yeah, it took me forever to get her to wear, just proper shoes. So she likes her sandals.
I do.
She likes open-toe stuff.
Yep. In fact, I used to wear sandals when we had animals. I'd go out in the field with the animals with flip-flops until I got my foot stepped on by a
sheep.
Let's see. He's about 200 pounds.
Yeah, he was a 200-pound sheep.
He stepped on my foot,
ram,
so...
Sheep butt.
Yeah, learned my lesson.
Yep, that'll flatten a toe real quick. Let her forge a knife. Ha-ha!
Yeah.
Yeah.
Straight and pointy, right?
Yep. Flat and pointy. That's what I always say. Keep it flat and pointy, and you're a knife maker. I'm sorry, that's really offensive to anybody who makes knives. I know it's more difficult than that, but hey, it's work.
They would, I don't know. Some people might find it entertaining. Put a taper on it.
Forged steel toes. There you go. That's a one. I can make that. Make some really decorative caps for my boots.
Yeah.
Steel toe caps.
Yeah, that'd be pumping.
That'd be awesome. Yeah.
You're hurt by the knife comment? I'm sorry.
Yeah, we're sorry.
I'm sorry. I don't know. Roy might not be.
Yeah, I don't know. She's apologetic. Deal with it. So here, my wife deals with the art side of things. She's much better. Yeah, that's good. Oh, that's a neat message. Yeah, like I said, we'll have to get in touch with Sarah and Mike to get a hold of them, and I'd like to hear that message. That'd be great. She just does the business part to answer that last question. Magnetic ink. Yeah, she does the whole backlog everything. So, yeah, steel toe sandals. That would be good.
Yeah.
Look a little weird. You like slippers?
It would look a little weird, but
Yeah.
yeah, I've maybe so for the people who are asking how much I've actually forged before, maybe 5 times total. Like, doesn't even count enough to be a beginner, really. Some meat skewers.
She did a good job too.
The meat skewers came out nice. Yeah, I might have to do a show and tell sometime, but
Yeah. Maybe the next live stream.
maybe.
Yeah, maybe. We'll get her out here again.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's still impressive. It takes a lot of work, you know, and for like the Lone Rangers that are doing entrepreneur by themselves, you know, you got to give it up to them. You know, you got to give it up to them that they're doing it all by themselves, and that means there's only so many hours in a day, and so you know they got to do what they got to do. I'm blessed to have a wife that's willing to come along on that journey, and she doesn't just sit inside and eat bonbons all day. You know, she works her hiney off for us. So. Yeah. Anyways, I don't know if it's lagging or if there's no more questions, but we really enjoyed talking to everybody out there. Oh.
A Damascus wire brush.
Okay. I asked Alex Steele to make a Damascus wire brush, and he said no. So you need to do it. A Damascus steel wire brush. That would be interesting. I don't know. I might do it for fun.
Yeah, so that comment there, my wife and I would never agree on designs. So funny story, when we first started our Etsy store, yeah, here we go, I'm telling that story. I would start doing the research, and I would tell Roy, like, you need to forge this, you need to forge that. Oh, look, this sells for $50. And I made him a list. I still have it saved on the computer of about 25 to 30 different items that I told him he should be forging. Yeah. And he took a look at the list and promptly told me no, he wasn't going to be doing any of those. So
yeah. Hi, Peppy Hadat. Good to see somebody from Indonesia here. That's awesome. Oh. Yeah, I wouldn't want to handle the customers, so. Yeah, Alec does do a lot, apparently. Oh, well. Yeah, it might be a waste of time for a wire brush, but it'd be funny. Yeah, you know, if you want to, you know, just encourage her best way you can, you know. Just let her know, like, next time she sees something like, oh, man, I'd love to have this stencil or this, whatever it is, this brush. You say, well, sell one of your paintings and we'll get you that, you know, one of those sort of things. So you might have to just nudge, you know, to get them going. So she's giving me a lot of nudges and shoves in life, but, you know, but I handle them okay.
Yeah.
I don't move easy.
No. It takes bringing it up a couple of times, you know, then you'll consider it. But
you watch Alec a lot. Live near him. That's cool. Yeah, I don't know much about Alex Steele other than I know that he's a large YouTuber, and I respect the kid for everything he's doing, you know. And if he keeps at it and he stays inspired and he works very hard, you know, and don't get too big of a head or an ego on him. He's going to go really far in life. I know when I was 19, I thought I knew everything, and I definitely had a plan for my life, and God had different stuff. So, you have to, just can't knock the guy for how well he's done on YouTube for sure. He's definitely an inspiration. He's inspiration to us as well.
Yeah.
Let's see here. I got her to let me post one on Facebook Market. Any advice on that?
Afraid we haven't really sold anything on Facebook. I mean, I'm vaguely familiar with the term, so
yeah,
I'm afraid we don't know anything about Facebook Market. Any tips on that?
Yeah, we don't have any advice on that one there. First anvil I ever hit on was a Harbor Freight 55-pound anvil shaped object. Worked great. Yeah, and he does make nice hammers. Alex Steele does make nice hammers. They're not my cup of tea. I don't like rounding hammers. Oh. You made a hot dog. Hey, you're welcome, Shadowcaster. We'll see you later, buddy. Made a hot dog on a stick in my forge once. Burn it bad. Yep, that'll do it. So. Well, I think we'll go pretty far. I don't know how far we'll go, but, it's whatever the Lord will want. So, we just enjoy doing it, and that's what we want to do, so. Way too much money. The anvil.
The Harbor Freight one.
The Harbor Freight, yeah, 55-pounder, yeah. Well, it's a lot of money for what it is, but it will get you by, and I forged on it for 4 years, so it did work, so. Yeah, definitely look more into Etsy. It's a great place to be a part of. If you get your search engine optimization down and some of that other stuff, Jessica's got a ton of videos on that, so
yeah.
Something to look at. You could weld a piece of 3/4 inch steel plate on a Harbor Freight anvil. It would probably work just fine. Really what you're dealing with a Harbor Freight anvil is that it's a cast steel anvil. And so it doesn't offer a lot. It kind of absorbs a lot of your hammer blows or your impacts. But, like I said, I worked on one for 4 years, saving up to try to hopefully buy an anvil. So that, it can work.
Well, everybody might be falling asleep. The comments are getting kind of slow, and it's getting kind of late.
Yeah. Yeah, there's all sorts of ways. You got the 90 amp welder and weld 3/4 plate. It's from Harbor Freight. Yeah, I think it could work. Right now, structural items are not. Hey, we'll check out your Etsy shop there. Right now, my focus is not on structural stuff. I like ornamental things, so that just is found a lot in architectural ironwork, and so that's something that I really try to incorporate even on small scale stuff. So, hey, you're very welcome, Codwell Customs. I'm glad you're getting into the blacksmithing there. Just bought a Peter Wright 150-pound. Awesome.
The Viking ship.
Yeah.
That's been like 2 years at least.
Yeah, that's been about 2 years ago since I made that. But yeah, that was a fun little project. It incorporated a lot of different things. I think it came out pretty well. So, and I think I made 2 of those. Yeah, I've made a total of 2.
The bowl's laying around here somewhere. You have an extra bowl like that.
Yeah. Yep. But yeah, that was a fun one. Fun little fruit bowl for sure. Yeah. Okay. Well, let's see here. I think we'll give it a couple more minutes. 2 minutes. Sure. Well, break it off even.
We can just round it up to 2 hours and 30 minutes even if you want.
Okay.
More minutes.
Yeah, small stuff. Small stuff is a good stuff. That's your bread items. Larger stuff's your butter items for sure. You know, I say preheat it and weld away. It's a Harbor Freight anvil, so you're not out a ton. If you screw something up on it, the worst thing it's going to do is it's going to break the welds right at the edges, and then you can just grind them or dress them off. You know, it does help if you got right materials. So, how old are we again? Yeah, you must have just come in. I'm 29 and she's 28. Hey, that'll be good, Sarah. And Mike, I guess it's Mike that's commenting. That would be great. Glad to be counted as a friend. Yeah, 65's not too bad. Unless you're poor. Yeah, that does help. I mean, that does hold you back some. Yup, it's Mike. Glad to be your friend, Mike. Yeah, lampposts, address signs. Yeah, that's one of those things I haven't gotten into, but that seems like neat. So, we live just outside of Dayton, Ohio, New Lebanon. Yep. New Lebanon, Ohio. Yeah, it's west of Dayton. Well, that's what part of Ohio we're in. Yeah, we've been keeping pretty consistent people at watching. I must have some diehard fans here. Yeah. That's awesome. But hey, Prepper Mattis, I'm glad you've been enjoying the videos for last week. So, Codwell Customs, yeah, I'm glad you found us. So, that's awesome. We've been adding a lot of new subscribers. It's awesome.
Another black
west of there, Logan. We're going to be going to SOFA Quad State this year, and so we'll be there. Yep, well, it's not Lebanon, it's New Lebanon. You have to come a lot further west than there outside of Xenia. Xenia is way east of Dayton. Yep, junkyard anvils out there, chunks of steel, things like that. Unfortunately, they're all going to cost you money, whether it's 50 cents a pound, $1 a pound, $5 a pound. Something's going to cost you money if you're going to be in this trade. So metalwork's kind of expensive. Hey, that's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, the Iron Menagerie, that's a pretty cool book. And it's got really good illustrations on animal heads. So
yeah, they do a really thorough job of
having
a photograph of each step of the process.
Mm-hmm. Yep, they do a really great job of that. So that was a fun book to read through. You know, and I've done several of the projects out of it, and it was quite fun. Let's see here. Make sure we're getting everybody's questions there. Oh. Okay, so before we jump off of here, sounds like the rain's picking up and storm's moving in. Do we have any other questions from you all out there before we conclude this week's live stream? So, hey, you have a good night too there, Prepper Mattis. Look forward to you on the next one.
Does your shop leak? Yeah.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. It's not the greatest at keeping water out. It does keep most of it out, but in a hard rain, it'll let some water in. So, yep. Hey, Bellbauer, it was fun. We'll see you next Friday, hopefully. Good night to you too, Corvus. Thank you for stopping in. Oh. Yep. What a good shop, doesn't it? Yeah. Yeah, we hope, Bodie, that you have the same. I got it right. Bodie. I did, right?
Yeah.
Right? Okay, good.
So.
Woo! Oh. We'll do. We'll keep up the great work for sure. You know, so that's what we're planning on being. We're planning on being on YouTube for quite a long time if we can. And, you know, we'll see where the Lord takes us.
You're a trip.
Yeah. I'm a bit of a ham if you get to know me. Oh.
You should see him at campfires. He's got some big stories.
Yeah. I like telling stories. You know, I love talking to people face to face and getting on first name basis. So if I can.
When you can remember.
When I can remember your name. I can't really remember your name, but I never forget a face. I never forget a face. That's an excuse. I should get better at that. But
there you go.
Oh well. No. Anyways, well, we are almost at our 2 hours and 30 minutes long time lapse. This has been so much fun, you all. I hope that God blesses everyone out there in everything that you're doing this weekend. Have a great Labor Day weekend if you're in the U.S. I don't know if around the world celebrates the U.S., Labor Day or not. I'm not sure. But God bless every last one of you. And I hope you guys have a great weekend and enjoy the content that's coming up. And I look forward to catching you all next Friday. So, good night, all. We'll see ya.